This year started out like any other. Because of that, I believed it was going to be like any other year, with only one exception, that it was going to be my last year of my school career. To my amazement, this year was so much more different than I expected it to be. In fact, it was probably the best year of my life. You see, when I was a kid, all I wanted to do was grow up and become the person that people enjoyed talking to. When you're a kid and you try to talk to adults or even people who are a bit older than you, they hardly ever take in what you say. They shrug it off and say that you will understand when you're older. I don't believe in that. I think at any age, no matter how much of life you've endured, your word should matter. I wanted my word to matter. I wanted to be heard, and I wanted to create things that people appreciated. Most of my high school career, I wasn't doing that. I was making content, but not much of it was seen by a big audience, and most of it was either laughed at or unappreciated. So my junior year, I basically stopped making content. I shut myself off from media creation and tried finding other hobbies and other career paths that I wanted to go down in the future. Once I got into my senior year, I started to continue writing a novel that I was working on that was already hundreds of pages. Believe it or not, someone actually read it. Not just the first page, or the first chapter, or even the first volume, but the entire thing. This gave me the drive to write more and more, and then finally, I finished it. And I was proud of how I finished it, starting it my freshman year and finishing it my senior year. I persisted through so many writer's blocks and so many challenges, but it was done. Another project I had worked on for years was a concept for a TV show by the name of When Push Comes to Shove. This is where I encountered even more problems than making my novel. I started by trying to get credit from it through Laker Learning Lab, which turned out to be a mistake. They told me the themes of the TV show weren't school appropriate and that I could only do a script for L3. I believed that any hope for the show was over. Then came my senior year. I'd produced music videos and small skits and other videos that gained hundreds of likes, and a lot of people really liked them. I gained a lot of friends that I never thought I would have, and really just became more known. That's when I rebooted the idea for the show. And although some would say it has been something of a disaster because of how many times I've recasted the characters, how many times filming day got canceled, or even how many times we weren't prepared enough and had to do reshoots of a scene we had already did. Despite all that, we've come farther than I ever thought possible. Even just at the very beginning of my senior year, I was convinced that the show wasn't going to happen. Now it sort of feels like it will. Simply thanks to all the people who have contributed and helped me with my idea and my vision. It's a shame that the things that happened this year couldn't have happened years ago, but I would rather end off my years as CSD on this high note than end it with nothing to show for myself. I'm really happy with what has happened recently because without the things that have happened this year, I would still be trying to figure out who I am. Now, I know who I am. My name's Joe. I'm a creator, someone with a vision, and someone who will fight like hell to make their vision a reality. Thank you, and stay tuned.